are on the Hillsborough River, running our 1913 Evinrude rowboat motor. Well, here we are again in sunny Florida, and what we've got here and what we're going to try to run and give a demonstration on is a Evinrude rowboat motor. Now, this particular one, in my opinion, is the most desirable model after 1912. And the reason for that is that this particular model does not have the flywheel magneto. It requires a separate ignition box, which we have hooked up here, with a buzz coil and a separate battery. And most of the problems with these original motors is that the ignition systems are weak or the spark non-existent, and so they're just frustrating and annoying. And when you have this particular model, again, the early ones or the later ones without the magneto, you have a much better chance of getting it running. Regardless of what you read on eBay or hear from other people, these engines are not rare. They're not even scarce. They're not even uncommon. They're all over the place. But nice examples like this one are not. Most of what you find out there are the later models, which have the reversing lower unit, which this does not, and the flywheel magnetos. These earlier models, you have a better chance of getting running, and they are somewhere between scarce and uncommon, and especially to find them in this condition. The giveaway here on the 1913 model is the little gas cap in the front. The later ones have the big gas cap in the back. It's a dead giveaway. What you need to run these motors is a battery and coil box, and this particular one was made by an acquaintance and friend of mine named Tom Manley, and he had one just like it that I really envied, and he was good enough to make me this particular one. It uses a Makita 7.5 volt electric drill battery, which is an extinct model, but it's just perfect for powering these ignition systems. Underneath that is a buzz coil. That's a commercial one that you can buy from Lee Pedersen or a number of different sources on the internet, or from some of the vendors at the gas engine shows. And we've got this hooked up here so that we're going to dry run it before we take it out on the river. And basically you're just supplying an ignition source to this motor. You have a battery and a ground, which are hooked to the timer, and a battery ground that's on the motor, and your one wire to the spark plug. Now, once you do that, you should have ignition. This particular engine has always been very dependable in the past. Once they're on, they're really nice motors. They're easy starting. If everything isn't right or you have a weak ignition source, you're going to have trouble with them, with any motor running. But on this particular one, it has your poppet valve carburetor, just like they all do. Some of them have a very problematic gasoline shutoff valve, which usually breaks, but this does not. The only control is the needle valve, and that controls the flow of gasoline from the tank bottom to the carburetor. It's a little poppet valve carburetor. I believe it is an Evinrude design. If you just take and open the needle valve a little bit, the gas cap is already vented, And with the gas valve open, you prime it by lifting the poppet valve till the gas runs out, and just pull it through compression. So that's what they run like when they're supposed to run right. If you've got your stuff together, you can be pretty certain that if everything's in order and you know where the engine runs. It took a little bit of experimenting because we couldn't remember where this lever was supposed to be, but this is your timing lever. And that really is the only speed control in the engine. We found it starts pretty well in that position. So now that we're pretty convinced it will run on the bench, we're going to take it down to the river and give it a try. Excellent.